series, training on your.me. This video is all about using eSign as a standalone product. Now, in video 5, we showed you how to use eSign with your rooms product, but sometimes you just simply need to get one document signed really quick, and it's only one page. You don't want to go to your room and apply a label and do all of those things. Although we think that it's faster for you to use your room system because your clients are already in there and all of that, maybe it's not really to do a transaction and you just need to send an eSign. So you click the eSign platform. First, you see all of your sent items. You can see the date that it was sent, whether it was acknowledged and signed. If it wasn't signed, then you will see a resend button next to the client's name. In some instances, you'll see binoculars because those are people who were set up as viewers, so it'll show that they actually viewed it. And as I go down, here's one that was failed. It was resent later, but the email address, it turned out on this one, was incorrect, so it came back as a message failed. And so hitting the resend button doesn't do any good because the envelope itself was flawed, so you can open it and change if you want the email address. Here in these 3 dots, you can clone this one. Let's say you're going to resend it completely. I can clone it with a file or without a file. So if I click clone without a file, it's going to take this and it's going to take my party information and the subject message, and it's going to add all of that, and but it's not going to add the file. But if I close with file, then it's going to take the file. If there's a label and all the initials and everything, it'll go ahead and recreate the whole thing, which is super cool. So that is what your sent items is there. You also have your inbox, which are what other people sent you. So as I sign all the DAs here, so a lot of these you'll see come from Romina, and she's sending me all these DAs to sign. And so if I click, I can always go back and look in the system for an old document or an old room if it's not been expired out. And then drafts are one that were created but were never ever sent, and those of course can be deleted. So that is the 3 options here, and you can search for in here, and it will limit based on either a client or a subject, any of that. If you're going to create a brand new room, you simply click the new button. You've got the form upload button. So here is an amendment that's just sitting on my desktop. So if I want to look at it, I can click the view button and it'll open it up in a new page. And so here was an amendment changing the price to $6.15. And if I'm going to say please, whatever I'm going to have as my email, my subject. As you noticed before, there was a nice email signature. You'd have to create your own for the body, the message. Type it super quick. Autocorrect. And then add a recipient. Now be very careful in noticing that these are trying to help tell you that this is a contact name and this is an email address. And we have agents getting this backwards, and they put the email address up here. So let's just say Tom and just making up data, and maybe Tom's either a signer or a viewer. Now you'll notice it doesn't say buyer signer or seller signer because none of that's the case here, because we don't know what this document is. If we don't know what the document is, then we don't know where to put the initials, and you have to manually handle the initials. But we can though say, oh, this is an amendment, and then this is an amendment to a buyer contract. So we'll say this is an amendment to a contract, and then immediately when that happens, we're going to say, oh, well, and I didn't save that person, by the way. Now we can save them as a buyer, seller, a listing agent, buyer agent, who they are. So in this case, we're going to make them buyer signer 1. Okay, and then we click next. Now it's going to automatically put the signature and the date here because we applied the label and we told it what it is and where to go. But if there is no label and we nix the label, let's look okay. Now there is no label. Now if they're just a signer, we click next. and requery this because, well, okay. It's remembering that it was an amendment even though it's not an amendment anymore. So to get this right, if you really don't know what it was, we click next. Now, there is no signature. So now I'm going to click, and first you have to click and select and then click and drag. And so I'm going to put the signature here. Maybe I'm going to add the date signed here. Maybe we're going to add a checkbox because I'm going to fill this form out along with signing it at the same time. And we're checking this off that the amendment was changed here. And then I'm going to take another date and I'm going to dump it here for the effective date. And then we hit send and complete. Now it's going to fail because unless Tom@Halling actually is a true email address, it's going to send it to this email, and typically in a couple minutes you'll see Mailgun reject the email address and say that this isn't a real email address, but it is pending for signature and it's out for signature. So the eSign product is super easy to use. It's mobile friendly, so you can open these on a mobile device. Now, when I do it from here, you'll also notice there is no room, because when we establish a relationship between the eSign envelope and the room, that happens from the room. And so this won't be on the envelopes tab in any room because it wasn't associated with the room, so it's just standalone. So that is the down and dirty eSign. Super easy to use. We've got lots of fun tools to play with to fill out your documents on the second line. When you get to, let me just grab someone so I can get to page 2. You can grab the agent's firm name or your company name as the agent, or your email address, or the client name. So client name, client email, or us, our company. A checkbox that's fillable, by the way. The date signed, which is an auto date from the time they click signed, or a text field that you can put anything in. And then we also have the initials and the signatures. If we need to add a party right here, we can. We just drop this down, click add party, add another party, make them also a signer. And now we have 2. I can add the other person, grab their signature, and their signatures are always related to their color. So super easy to work in this environment. This is Video-06. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next edition, which is going to be a Cesium product tutorial. So we will see you in future videos. Thanks for watching.